On January 7, 2025, the political landscape of West Africa shifted dramatically during the inauguration of Ghana's newly elected president, John Dramani Mahama. The event was a historical occasion, marked by dignitaries from across the continent, including Nigerian President Bola Tinubu and other notable figures. However, it was the presence of Burkina Faso's military leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore, that electrified the crowd and captured the attention of both local and international observers. Traore's appearance at the inauguration was not only a demonstration of solidarity but also a symbol of the changing tides in African leadership. The reception of President Traore at the ceremony in Accra was nothing short of extraordinary. As soon as the Ghanaian Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, called Traore's name, the crowd erupted into rapturous applause and chants of admiration. This overwhelming show of support was a stark reminder that African citizens are increasingly looking for bold, decisive leadership. For a moment, it seemed that the focus had shifted away from Mahama, with Traore becoming the centerpiece of the event, embodying a hope for the future of Africa. Ibrahim Traore, a military leader who took power in Burkina Faso in 2022, has gained recognition for his swift, action-driven approach to governance. Unlike many African leaders who are often seen as complacent in the face of regional challenges, Traore has actively sought to stabilize Burkina Faso amidst rising insurgencies and regional instability. His leadership has become a beacon of hope for many across the continent, especially in the Sahel region, where insecurity and instability have taken a severe toll. Please, subscribe, like and share. One of the reasons for Traore's popularity is his image as a leader who is not afraid to challenge the status quo. His military background, having undergone extensive training in both Burkina Faso and abroad, has imbued him with a sense of discipline and a focus on national security. Unlike some of his counterparts, Traore is seen as genuinely working for the good of his people rather than for personal gain. His bold decision to cut ties with former colonial powers, such as France, and instead prioritize the development of Burkina Faso's resources, has resonated with citizens across the African continent. But Traore's leadership is not without its complexities. His attendance at the inauguration comes at a time when regional security concerns are at an all-time high. In particular, the Sahel region, which spans several West African nations including Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, is grappling with growing insurgency threats from terrorist organizations linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIS. These militant groups are destabilizing countries and pushing for control of strategic territories. The geopolitical dynamics of this region are fraught with tension. While some African countries, such as Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, have begun to take a more independent stance, others remain tied to Western powers like the United States and France. The West African Bloc, known as the Economic Community of West African States, has been criticized for its lack of unity and collective action in tackling regional crises. Ghana's new leadership under President Mahama has made a clear pivot away from the previous administration's alignment with Western powers. Mahama's intention to rebuild relations with Burkina Faso and foster deeper ties with the Sahel nation signals a strategic shift, one that is motivated by mutual security concerns. For Ghana, the benefits of joining the African Economic and Security Cooperation are clear. In light of the growing threats from militant groups operating along the porous borders between Ghana, Burkina Faso, and other neighboring states, the country's security infrastructure has been stretched thin. Ghana's role as a logistics hub for insurgent groups, who use the country as a transit point for weapons and explosives, is a major cause for concern. This escalating insecurity, particularly in areas like the Baku region, is a reminder that Ghana cannot afford to ignore regional conflicts. By strengthening diplomatic and security ties with its neighbors, Ghana stands to gain much-needed support in combating these security challenges. Experts like Adib Sani, a security analyst at the Accra Jatai Center for Human Security and Peacebuilding, have stressed the urgency of strengthening security cooperation among West African nations. Ghana is at a critical juncture, Sani noted. The country is increasingly becoming a transit point for militants, and unless regional cooperation intensifies, the situation will only worsen. Additionally, the ICE framework could offer Ghana an avenue to diversify its economic and security partnerships. While the country has historically maintained ties with Western powers, a shift toward a more African-centered cooperation could help mitigate the pressures of foreign influence and allow Ghana to pursue a more independent and self-sustaining future. The reception of Traore in Ghana is a clear message to other African leaders: the era of passive leadership is over. Citizens are no longer content with leaders who merely pay lip service to issues without taking real action. Traore's leadership, though unconventional, has earned him respect not only in Burkina Faso but across Africa. His military regime has led to substantive changes, including the suspension of gold exports to the West and the establishment of a domestic gold refinery, a move that ensures Burkina Faso derives more value from its natural resources. While some critics have labeled Traore's leadership as authoritarian, the reality is that his actions have often been more in line with the needs of the people than many so-called democratically elected leaders. Ironically, these dictatorial leaders are often more in tune with the desires of the people than Western-backed democracies, which often prioritize foreign interests over local development. As Ghana embarks on a new chapter under President Mahama, the call for greater unity among African nations is louder than ever. It is clear that the future of West Africa, and Africa at large, depends on how countries choose to navigate their security and economic challenges. While Ghana's decision to repair its relationship with Burkina Faso is a positive first step, the road ahead will require deeper, more sustained collaboration across the continent. As African nations like Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger begin to break free from the stranglehold of colonial powers and multinational corporations, the future of the continent looks more promising. However, for real change to take place, African leaders must unite, not just in rhetoric, but in action. It is time for Africa to work together to solve its own problems and secure its future. The current wave of leadership change is a revolution in progress, one that has the potential to reshape Africa's destiny. As Ibrahim Traore and other leaders like him continue to challenge the traditional paradigms of governance, the question remains, will other African nations follow suit and stand up for the continent's independence, or will they continue to bow to foreign powers? The answer lies in the hands of Africa's next generation of leaders.